What's up, YouTube? For today's video, this is going to be our guide on how to use Cyclizar in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing some competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, let me know about it in the comment section. And as well, if you see any movesets here that maybe I didn't cover or one that's working well for you, let me know there too. And if you enjoy these videos, if they're helping you out, make sure you drop a like there and let's get into it. So Cyclizar is quite an interesting Pokemon here. Let's have a look at its stats. The best thing about its stats definitely is its high speed stat with a base of 121 speed. So the first build here, I actually am going to do this as a pure sweep setup build. It's not really about Cyclizar itself, it's more about creating a sweep. So it has its little cool move here, Shed Tail. Now only Orthworm and Cyclizar actually get this move, and it's very, very good, right? So what it does, the user loses half of its health, and then it actually passes the substitute along. This is very, very problematic because you can pass a substitute to another Pokemon, say a powerful Pokemon with like Dragon Dance, Nasty Plot, Calm Mind, you name it, right? And they can set up behind the substitute, and if it's the right situation, you can mostly end up getting a easy sweep with it. Now, the other moves I've run on this is Taunt because it's very, very fast, so why wouldn't you run Taunt on it? I've got U-Turn there, so U-Turn's just there in case, well, you're thinking, well, there's no way I can really get this Shed Tail off, or it's a waste of time. I'll U-turn and use it later on. And I've also got Rapid Spin as well, so any sort of Glimora leads or annoying Stealth Rock Pokemon, you can get rid of those, and you can then set up your Shed Tail. So not a bad little strategy here as a pure sweep setup. I've got the item as Citrus Berry, and I've got the ability as Regenerator. So that's going to help out a lot there, especially when you're using Shed Tail as well as the Citrus Berry. So you can keep passing these annoying little substitutes on to all your other Pokemon. So a very, very powerful move is Shed Tail for sure, and it just works very well because it's got such a high base speed stat. Now, let's have a look at something a little bit different. This is going to be the set that you're going to see Shed Tail sets mostly. That's what you're going to see the most. This is more of the standard sort of stuff. I've made this into pure sweep setup. Look, for argument's sake, you could add on a couple of attacking moves here like Dragon Claw and things like that. That works too. Mainly you're going to be using Shed Tail with this Pokemon because that's what it is best for. Now, let's have a look at this. Now, when you look at this Pokemon, you mostly think of Shed Tail, but it actually gets Shift Gear, which is really cool. So what Shift Gear does, it increases your speed by 2 and attack by 1. It's already got great speed already, so what you can do is you can actually make a physical sweeper. Now, I've given this Heavy Duty Boots as the item. That also works with this set, but, you've got Citrus Berry there too if you're using Shed Tail, but, it's not a bad item on Cyclizar. Very, very good. So we've got the ability Shed Skin here, so it gets Shed Skin and it gets Regenerator. Since we're running a physical sweeping set here, we don't want to be burning that sort of thing. So Shed Skin is going to come in very, very handy there. It has a 33% chance of actually curing that status, which is not too bad. So Shift Gear is going to be good here. We've got Dragon Claw as a Dragon Stab. We've got Iron Head for any Fairy type Pokemon, and I've actually got Terra Fire as well, which is a way to hit Steel type Pokemon. And also you can change into a Fire type there when a Fairy type Pokemon comes in, which is going to be kind of handy too. So this gives it the best coverage it can get for a physical Pokemon, in my opinion. The EV spread is max attack and max speed out of nature. You don't need to run Jolly Nature because it's already fast. Argument's sake, you could probably even go no speed and you could go max health if you want any some extra bulk about it. That would work too because, after a Shift Gear, its speed is going to double, and its speed is already very, very high already. That's going to be outspeeding absolutely everything. Unless it's like a really, really speedy Choice Scarf Pokemon, you're going to be alright there. But any variant of that set will work there. Now, let's have a look at a little bit more gimmick here. That's going to be the one you're going to see the most. It's sort of going to be these mixed together. So you might see something like... Let me show you anyway. So, okay, this set right here is virtually works very, very nicely just for setting up the Shed Tail. You can give it like Dragon Claw as well if you just want a little bit more presence and not just, just having a U-turn. And that's pretty much all you need, really. You just want that Dragon Claw and these other moves there. You don't have to have Rapid Spin, but I find Rapid Spin's kind of nice on it. And you can Taunt as well. It's a very, Taunt's very good on fast Pokemon or Pokemon that go first. So, why not throw it on Cyclizar? That definitely works really well there. So Just a couple of variants there. As for items, Citrus Berry just works so well on the Shed Tail set, so I probably wouldn't change that. And for the physical set, Heavy Duty Boots is like the probably the best item you can use there, because you've got Shed Skin to heal any status, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't change the items around for that. Now, let's have a look at its special attack here. On the special side, it's actually got 85 base special attack, which isn't all that bad. So, I've come up with a throat spray set here for it. Now, I've got Hyper Voice, which is stab, which is nice. That's a move you can just use straight away and activate Throat Spray, giving you a +1 in special attack. You've got Dragon Pulse here. Now, you do have the option to use Drake or Meteor too. Now, I have seen a couple of these sweep setup ones have, I will say this too, I have seen a couple of these have Drake or Meteor, because the idea is you can use Drake or Meteor, a very, very, powerful special attacking move, right? I'd change that up. Actually, no, that's fine. I don't know why I had Timid on there. Just forget about that. That was meant to be jolly for the physical one. So yeah, with the Timid set here, you could go max speed, max special attack. You could have Drake or Meteor, do a lot of damage. Oh, my special attack has been dropped. Oh, we'll just go for a Shed Tail then and pass off us up. That definitely works too. I've seen that work, and I've seen that quite a bit there. So it's got a bit of presence about it with that powerful move. But anyway, back to the special sweeper. You could run Drake or Meteor on that, but the problem is this isn't a Shed Tail set, so you're going to be wanting to stay in and keeping your boost. So that's why I've opted for Dragon Pulse as the optimal Dragon type move here. I've got Thunderbolt and I've got Terra Blast Fairy this time. So a little bit of coverage there. You can hit virtually nearly everything. You're probably going to have a little bit of trouble with steel types because you don't have anything super effective. Or it could go Terra Fire again, like I did on the shift gear sweeper. I've actually done pretty well with this. I got quite a few sweeps with this one. Late game sweeps, not like full 6 Pokemon sweeps, but it definitely did work there. People tend to expect the Shed Tail set and get surprised when you do something different. Now, as for its special moves, it is a little bit limited here, so I'll just show them to you. So we got Draco Meteor as its most powerful. It's got Overheat too, which isn't going to be very handy. I wish I got Boom Burst. That'd be really cool. So Boom Burst would actually, give it a decent chance there of being a better special sweeper. Now, you could try this in doubles too. This one here with Hyper Voice, you could give that a try. You could also probably put on Shed Tail there, because it's just such a good move, I can't even, real talk, I can't even believe this is a move, because it's so good, passing that freeze substitute on there. But there you go, that's something you could use in doubles for a little bit of fun there. The sweep setup one you could use too you could easily use this in doubles. I probably would can Rapid Spin, and I would probably give it Protect. That wouldn't be a bad move to have on there either. So you go for Protect. I'd go something like that in doubles. You could even drop Taunt if you really, truly wanted to. I'd say Taunt's a little bit more handier in singles. But yeah, that could definitely work for singles and doubles too. But more for doubles if you're running Protect. There's not much point in running Protect in singles. But yeah, just sort of added a little bit of options in there for doubles too. But yeah, back to this set. That's the special Throat Spray set. I've given it Shed Skin as the ability too, because there's no real point in running Regenerator on it. You don't really want to be swapping after you've got your special attack boost, right? So the next one here, this is a little bit of a play on the Shift Gear set. This is Pure Assault. This is like a physical attacking set, and this is actually quite fun to use. It's a little bit luck-based there, which makes it a gimmick set, but it does have some potential, and if everything goes right, you're going to cause a lot of soul here. So we've got a Shift Gear set again. It's a sweeping one. This time we're making use of Dragon Rush. So Dragon Rush has got a 20% chance to flinch the opponent, plus a nice 100 base power there. So outclassing Dragon Claw in power. Not so much in accuracy though, but with the wide lens as the item, that sort of does make up a little bit, so you get an extra 10% on top of there. So you're into the early 80s there for accuracy instead of 75, which is a little bit still shaky for sure, but it's better, right? Iron Head is there for flinching as well, 30% chance. You can land that against Fairy-type Pokemon. Obviously, wide lenses are needed for that. And we've got Firefang as well for Steel-type Pokemon, and with the wide lens making that 100%. And it's also got a 10% chance to burn and a 10% chance to flinch. So have a go with it. I actually think you could be surprised how well that would go. If you can get some flinches, the opponent is going to get very, very salty. In a comparison to this one here, this is probably more standard, and you're probably going to, whether you're running max health or max speed, this is probably going to be a bit better or more, let me put it this way, it's going to be more reliable. You don't have to, worry if your move is going to miss or whatever like that. But this has worked for me too. So this is more of a fun set. This is more of a more standard sweeping set there. But there you go, a little bit of comparison between those. I think both of them are pretty fun, this one especially. So let's have a look now at a sub-passing meme here. So this is... we're using this is a troll set, obviously, as you can see. So this is all based around the move Shed Tail. It's a little bit of a meme setup of this. It's sort of like this set, but like a meme version of it. So we've got Protect, and we've got Shed Tail, we've got Regenerator, Breaking Swipe to drop the opponent's attack, and Mud Slap. So these moves are here are for support. So obviously, you're going to put that Shed Tail and bring in another Pokemon. So this is to drop their attack, and this is to obviously, cause some accuracy there. So the opponent can maybe get that Shed Tail substitute swapped in, and then maybe the next move will miss, or wow, I didn't do as much damage there, the sub didn't break, something like that, right? So a little bit of a fun set. We've got Leftovers and Regenerator. We want to try and use Shed Tail as much as possible, and we want to cause as much salt as possible there. Basically passing off that substitute and trying to make as much out of it. Now, this is a bulky set. I've given this one max health and max defense, impish nature, and yeah, makes it quite bulky on the defensive side there, and allows you to try and get as many Shed Tails as possible while spreading a little bit of salt there with Mud Slap and Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe could be used in doubles too. It's a little bit more gimmicky though, so I think there's better things to use than that, comparatively speaking, but an idea, right? Next one here, we got this one. This is pretty cool. So we got the Eject Button meme here. So Eject Button's a pretty cool item. You don't ever really get to see it being used, of course. So if the holder survives a hit, it immediately switches into a chosen ally. So that means, right, say if, for example, I fire off this big Hyper Beam here. This is the whole point of the set, right? I get the maximum base power Hyper Beam, 150 base power. Then someone hits me with the attacking move. The Eject Button will eject me out of the battle, and that way I won't be a sitting duck for one turn while the opponent can set up on me and stuff like that. And your Regenerator will kick in too at the same time, and then I can swap another Pokemon in of my choice. It is a consumable item there, so obviously... yeah, make use of the Hyper Beam when you can, I guess. I thought it worked cool on these moves too. Like, we've got Draco Meteor here at the same time. We've got Overheat too, and we've got Hyper Beam. So, interesting. And I've also got Mud Slap on there, so I thought, well, Mud Slap could work there, because if you get a couple of accuracy drops, then you could go for Hyper Beam over and over. They may miss and that sort of thing. And yeah, we've got the EV spread as max special attack and max speed intimidation. So, obviously a mega troll set. Now, just as I'm thinking here, I know Shed Tail is a very good move, but that wouldn't be all that bad either. Once you've used up your Eject Button, you could then make use of the Shed Tail at the same time. That could also get you out of the matchup. So you could go for your Draco Meter, you could go for your big Overheat, and, well, my special attack is now garbage. Well, I'll just pass on a substitute. So another option there too. So you could give the old Eject meme a try out there. A Pip Knight special, this one for sure. And yeah, a pretty interesting sort of sets there. But yeah, Cyclizar is a very interesting Pokemon for sure, but mainly people are going to be using it for Shed Tail. Let me see if I can come up with anything else here. I like to explore all avenues of every Pokemon, and I like to go in real depth as well. Now, as for partners, using Cyclizar, you're wondering, oh, what Pokemon should I use with Cyclizar? So, just thinking here. So, Cycler, its main sort of role here. Let's talk Shed Tail, right? Because that's the main thing you're going to be using it for. Any sweeping Pokemon that's going to benefit from that. So, say the opponent is going for a Fairy type move here, or a Fighting type move. You could easily swap you could easily have like a, let me bring this up right now. This would be great. A Ghost type Pokemon. And say you've got, let's say for example, you've got Skeledirge or Annihilate, right? One of these Pokemon. We'll just use Annihilate, for example, or any Ghost Pokemon, right? Say the opponent's got a Fighting type. Oh, I'll just go for a quick Shed Tail. boom, you've passed that sub off, you've gone into a ghost type Pokemon. Oh, suddenly Annihilape's got like a substitute up. Suddenly it can start setting up behind the sub and causing the opponent a lot of grief. So those sort of setups are very, very good there, especially a normal type. Another that would work kind of well, would work fairly well there. Anything that resists like fairy and stuff like that. So, you know, you could have like, I'm thinking steel would be okay, but the problem is it is weak to fighting too. So probably like a fire type would go alright too, like something like this. Like another, I'm thinking like the good swapping would be Scarlet. That'd be nice. So you've got the ghost type as well, and you could set a sword dance up behind the sub, you know, and then you could start going. So maybe give Cyclizar and Scarlet a shot together. That would work kind of nicely. And yeah, that'd definitely be something you could give a go for sure. Plus also, this is weak to ghost, right? And you can swap in Cyclizar. It's normal. It's not going to affect it. So they work pretty nicely for synergy there. There's quite a few Pokemon that, you know, can work there, but that's just an example there of 2 Pokemon that could work kind of well. So as for Cyclizar getting around it, it's actually quite tough to get around Cyclizar's, where are we here? Sorry. It's actually kind of hard to get around its Shed Tail because it's such a fast Pokemon. You know, so you sort of have to, you really have to make sure, if you see Cyclizar, you know what it's going to do, right? You know that it's going to pass that Shed Tail up. So you either do not start setting up entry hazards and all that sort of stuff. You need to break that sub, right? So swap a Pokemon in and get rid of that sub straight away. It is a very, very powerful move. So when you see it, you know what it is going to do. So when you look at its speed, right, not many Pokemon are going to be able to outspeed this, so it's a very, very fast substitute Pokemon, right? So that would be my suggestion there. If you see it, just attack it, right? Wear it down. That's its main thing. And it's got Citrus Berry too most of the time, so it'll use up that initial Citrus Berry, and it'll keep trying to pass the Shed Tail. So just keep pressing it over and over again. It can't really do... its weakness is it doesn't really do anything. Like, it doesn't really have a lot of... like attacking presence, not that much really. So it's only really going to do, let's say a Dragon Claw, you know, that's about all it's really going to do, or maybe a Draco Meteor. That's about it. So you don't really have to worry about the damage that it does. It's sort of just mainly the Shed Tail. So that would be my advice when versing it there. And any sort of another good way to get around it too, if you know that it's sound-based moves are a great way to get around it. So, say if you've got a powerful sound base with like a Hyper Voice or a Boom Burst, and you know you're versing a Cycler, just go for Boom Burst or Hyper Voice on the swap. And like a Sylveon, you know, a Sylveon Pixelate Hyper Voice, that's gonna do a lot of damage there too. And yeah, if it does get around that, it gets around that sub, you know, so it's gonna do damage there. So that's another way you can possibly get around Cyclizar. I think this might have just been banned by Smogon recently. I'd say just for the pure Shed Tail and its speed. So, but yeah, you just have to get around. Once it can't do Shed Tail anymore, it's kind of useless. So it's mainly like, it mainly creates a setup for another Pokemon. That's the best thing about it. You're not really going to see like Shift Gear Sweepers and stuff like that. That's more of a meme. But yeah, that's a bit of an example there. But if you use Shed Tail with a Pokemon that is a Ghost type or like Cerulege, you're gonna possibly get a nice little setup there. Let me just check if there's any more options here for our friend Cyclizar. Now, as for status moves, it doesn't really get a lot. So, apart from Shed Tail and Shift Gear, it's not getting too much. You'll see Taunt a little bit. It also gets Substitute, which is pretty funny, but apart from that, it's not really going to be doing anything. Agility's basically useless on it, because you've got Shift Gear, and we've got like Rain Dance and Sunny Day. I don't think, you could set up the weather and go, potentially you could do something like this. This could be some sort of like janky kind of, weather setup or something like that. You could go for the Rain Dance. That's actually not that bad. If you did it purely for like a weather team, I know it's a bit of a meme, but you could go... This is like purely meme here, right? So yeah, you could get it to set up a Rain Dance or a Sunny Day for your team, depending on what. Like obviously Sunny Day would be heat rock, but let's say we've got a Rain team here. You could get the Rain set up, then you could go for a Shed Tail. Or suddenly I've got a sub. My my Swift Swim Pokemon has got a sub up, and it's got the Rain up for another 7 turns. Not all that bad, It actually isn't all that bad. because of Shed Tail, basically. That's the cool thing about it. It makes it very, very versatile. So maybe you could try that one out with either, you could do that with the Heat Rock or the Damp Rock combination, whether you're running Rain Dance or Sunny Day. I actually can see that working. I know it's a little bit more of a setup than, having a Pokemon like Torkoal come in and set it up, but, Torkoal actually can't pass a sub along, right? So that is unique. It is unique. I know it takes one more turn to do, or two more turns to do, but it is somewhat unique. So that's another way you could possibly use it. If you want to try something different, of course, than the, the usual kind of setup. Now, with this is a special moves. We've gone over them already. Absolute, very, very limited. For final look at its physical moves here, so it does get Double Edge. So Double Edge is another move it could run. It's got Body Slam, but you might see Body Slam a little bit, but once again, it's not going to be doing that much damage. That's pretty much it for this Pokemon. It's kind of, I call it a one-trick pony, really, because Shed Tail is its best thing that it's going to be doing, and that's what it's going to be used for most. Even though there is some sort of there are some ways you can get it to sweep with Shift Gear, but I don't see many people actually using this at all. That's basically it for this Pokemon. I don't think there's much else I can talk about here. I like to sort of go into more depth, but that's it. I'd say the set that I was talking about, this one, in summary, Cyclizar is a great Pokemon for passing a substitute along with the move Shed Tail. It can taunt the opponent at the start there. It can use Rapid Spin against the lead Pokemon and shut them down there, or it can even go for a Draco Meteor, get some sort of big damage off there, or some sort of damage, and then go for a Shed Tail. And then it's got Regenerator, which means it can use Shed Tail over and over quite a few times, creating a sweep for a Pokemon on your team. That's what it's going to be used for mostly, and that's about it. I think that's it for the Cyclizar guide. I'll be doing another guide tomorrow, and of course in my usual theme teams, I'm going to try and do one of these guides every single day to try and, get all those Gen 9 Pokemon done. Anyway, people, I hope you found this informative and entertaining, and I'll catch you tomorrow for some more videos. Peace out.